Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make informed decisions. Guys, my goal for you is to not be in the 90% of people that invest in crypto that lose money. So therefore, you got to have a game plan and have some realistic price predictions of what the future will look like and what's your game plan. So I'm going to talk about my price prediction for KASPA and how I plan to go about taking profits. Now, whether you agree with me or not, I really just want to get you thinking and thinking about your game plan. Because, guys, if you try to wing it, you're probably going to get wrecked. And you need to go ahead and set your plan in place so that you can work your plan when that FOMO creeps in. And trust me, if everything works out like we think, and there's a massive bull run coming and alt season kicks in, there's a conflict of interest with influencers. Now, I want you to think about it. If I tell you to take profits, say early in KASPA or any other token, well, and then I take profits and I'm out, you're not going to come back and watch my channel on that token. But if I keep lying to you and keep telling you, oh, don't sell your KASPA at, $2, at $5, at $10, don't sell, you're an idiot. Well, for all of us, this bull run will end and we'll all wake up, and probably in a matter of about a week, our portfolios will be cut in half. There's going to be a morning, and we don't know when that morning is, that we're going to wake up and literally we're going to be down like 27, 34% in one day. Next day, we're going to be down like 13%. Next day, another 9%, and the panic is going to kick in. And we won't know if the bull run's over or we should buy the dip. And that's why a game plan is so important. And be careful who you listen to, because if the majority were right, the majority would be rich. And I'm here to tell you guys, from all my coaching, people wreck themselves. I have endless customers that have been through 2 and 3 bull runs and don't have anything to show for it. Why? They didn't take any profits. So we're going to go through what I think you should consider. It's not financial advice, but I'm here to help you guys, and it's going to be thought provoking, hopefully. And we're going to take a look at a handful of charts. This has nothing to realistically do about these projects. The chart and the history is just here for educational purposes. We're going to look at some charts, and I want you to think about what if this happens to KASPA and what your current game plan would look like. Now, hit the like button. Let's dive into this alpha. And stay with me to the end, guys, because it's really going to be beneficial, whether you agree or not. I promise you, you should at least pick up a couple of things that might help you make money. Now, all right, realistically, guys, I can't be more bullish. I really can't. I believe that we are going to have probably an extended bull run. I hope so. And I think it's going to absolutely be explosive. But I do have a couple of concerns. My first concern is if Trump doesn't win this election or some type of black swan. But if those worries don't come true, guys, we are in for a heck of an altcoin season that we've all been waiting for. However, my biggest concern across the board, and why I personally will be way more aggressive taking profits, is this. In like the 2017-18 bull run, guys, if someone jumped into crypto, the odds are, and talk to any influencer or any friend that was in crypto, the odds are they would have said, well, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, buy XRP, buy XLM, and one or two others. There was only a handful of real projects out there. And those people, if they bought those and took profits, they could have easily made life-changing gains. But there was only, you know, probably 1,000 projects out there. There was only realistically one meme coin, and it was Doge. So of course people made life-changing gains. Now, fast forward to 2021. There was still Doge and Shiba. That's pretty much it. I'm sure there was others, but the odds are you could have made life-changing gains. Now, but there was about 14, 15,000 projects out then, but there was still only probably 100, 150 really good projects that had, say, real world utility and had the hype to maybe be changing the world with that tech. That was in the last bull run. Well, in this bull run, there's 2.5 million projects, and that was as of like 2 months ago. It may be 3 million by now. It's going so fast. They print like new meme coins and they clone new projects every single minute of the day. So why is that so important? Well, just like printing money dilutes the value of the dollar, or just like bad tokenomics in crypto, when the developers and everyone can dump on you, it dilutes the value. Well, no matter how big this crypto asset class gets, it's diluted, guys. Heck, there's more really great meme coins than there were in existence of all tokens in the last bull run. And it matters, guys. So the point about that is all the money, for instance, that would say go into a top project like Kaspa in the last bull run, there was only a handful of layer ones, and that was a hot narrative. Now there's probably literally 25 badass layer ones. Well, you got to divide that up, not to mention all the layer ones that, aren't badass. They still get money as well. And then all the layer twos. There's more layer twos than there were layer ones in the last bull run, and these are big layer twos, like $1 billion market caps. So the point about that is, if you're following me, is no matter what, I don't see the average project, no matter how good it is, ripping to the levels of the hyped up tokens from like last bull run. There's just not enough money to go around. So keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about where I believe realistically, and I'm not here to hype up Kaspa. I own it. I own a pretty good bag of it. I'm bullish, but I'm not going to tell you it's going to $20 or $30 or $100. But let's look at some realistic prices. And if you're not familiar with marketcapof.com, go there, guys. It will help you a lot, and it's free. Now, let's compare Kaspa to what Sol did in the last bull run and where it is now. Now, if Kaspa can get to where Sol is right now, guys, that's almost a 19x. I think that's doable. It will probably be a big green candle, or the majority of it will be a big green candle, and that will be time, no ifs and buts about it, at least to take your initial investment out, which we'll get more into that game plan in a minute. Now, if Kaspa gets to where Sol got to in the last bull run, its all-time high, that's about a 25x. So I think that is doable. I think that could happen. Now, here's what I think is a better strategy and more probable. Now, what I do, guys, I invest bull run to bull run, and I try to play the probabilities. I want to guarantee myself that I will be in the 10% that makes money. Now, just follow me along. See, I play the downside. Most people play the upside. Now, if you got pocket change in the market yes, you can hold out and hope to get that Lambo on $1,000. But if you got some real money or some money that matters to you, you need to pay attention, because the number one rule in investing is don't lose money. And for the life of me, guys, I don't want to see someone, which this is what happens to 90% of the people. They put in, say, $10,000, and let's say they ride it up to 150,000, 200,000, 300,000. Then they ride it all the way back down to 7,000 or maybe even 3,000. And then they get to sit there for 4 or 5 years and hope they get their money back. Guys, you gotta take profits. No one that is a successful investor will tell you to hodl altcoins, but I hear it every day because they think that this is life-changing uh, technology. But guys, I got news for you, and I say this with love, but do some research on the big boys. This is not blockbusters getting beat out by Netflix. They knew that they could have bought Netflix for like $5 million back in the day, believe it or not. They didn't see that coming. The cab companies didn't even understand Uber. Well, the big banks of the world, the governments of the world, and the Wall Street power players who dominate the world now, they understand it and they have their own tech. So they're not going to just be caught off guard, and they're not going to lose market share. I highly recommend, guys, go see what these power players are doing for whatever it's worth. Now, let's keep talking about what could happen. Okay, so the prices of KASPA is 363 if it goes to where Sol went last bull run, and if it goes to where Sol is now, it's 275. Now, let's be optimistic and say that it could be 363. Well, because of that dilution, I don't believe KASPA or any other project is going to get to rip like the ones from the last project. So I'm thinking more like 75% of that, which is about $2.72. So for me, unless something changes, which obviously I'm going to play it by ear of what's going on in the world, but this is trying to prepare myself with the information we have now. So for me, no ifs and buts about it, I will be out of KASPA around 272. Now I may own like say 10% and keep that running, which we'll talk about my strategy at the end. But keep watching, guys. It's gonna help you a lot. Now, when you look at KASPA's chart with the tokenomics and the fair launch and everything, there's not a better project. I really don't think. I think this is about as solid and the least risk reward you can get outside of Bitcoin. I really do. And I have no doubt that KASPA definitely hasn't hit its all-time high, and it's going to keep ripping. I love everything about KASPA. Now, there's a lot of different ways people can invest. I'll give you my basic strategy, and then we'll go into my exact strategy. But I just want to get your thoughts on, get you thinking about something. Okay, you can dollar cost in from the beginning, and then just wait till altcoin season. Wait till when you think the market's at its absolute peak, and you can dollar cost average out. Or you can load up in the bear market or right before the altcoin season, and you can just sell when you think the peak is. That's not a bad strategy, but if you're wrong, you get wrecked, right? And if you dollar cost average out, you're probably going to do better if you start early enough. But the people that, and this is what I see, and this is really what I want to talk to you, if this is you. A lot of people here, oh, KASPA's going to $20. KASPA's going to, $10, no matter what. I'm going to sell it $10. Well, what if it goes to $8, guys? That's massive gains. Massive. You missed the whole boat. And the odds are you'll end up riding your money back down less than you even started with. You won't even make any money. So, let's get back to the numbers we were talking about. Let's just say hypothetically that we all agree 363. So you're like, okay, I'm going to start taking profits at $3, a dollar cost average out. Now, what if I am right and my number is 272 and KASPA hits 272 and it's game over, right? You missed it. You didn't make a penny. I'm all the way out. Yeah, I did have the risk of it hitting $10, but I'm willing to take that, guys. I'm playing the downside. My goal is to make money, and I can ride that last 10%, which we're going to get to, my full strategy. I can ride the last little bit, or I can get back in if the bull run is extended. So keep that in mind. If you're thinking right now, this guy doesn't have a clue, and there's no way I would sell my KASPA at $2 or $2.75, bear with me. Let's look at some real charts. And this also, I want to talk about the timeline. Roughly, most people agree that the altcoin season is going to be somewhere between, I think it was 250 days was the earliest peak of a cycle, and about 500 days is the longest time. So realistically, it's going to be somewhere in there, and that's after the halving. Well, another concern, we peak before the halving. That's never happened before. Some people think it's going to be a short altcoin season. Well, I don't think so because of the printing of money. If Trump wins and where the world is with interest rates and what China's doing, I think it's going to be extended. Even though we started early, I think we're going to end later. So that's something to think about. But for me, for my altcoins, I probably will not own any altcoins after probably August at the latest. Now that doesn't mean I won't. That means I would have went through my entire portfolio outside of my Bitcoin. I will have sold everything. Now that I will still be in the market at a percent, whatever that percent is, maybe 10 or 20%, because I'm not going to get out of the market, period. But I will have locked in 80% of my gains, and they will not go back in no matter what, and then I'll deal with that other 20%. Now, for the people, so time does matter, guys. And I'm telling you, if you hodl, no one's ever got rich in crypto hodling. All the people you watch, all the influencers that have made life-changing gains, like the BitBoys of the world, they took their profits, guys. They sold out. Go ask Alex Becker. Go ask any of the big guys that are not here just to grow their channel. Now, let's say you're saying, okay, I'll sell all my KASPA at $2, or I'll start dollar cost averaging out at say $2, or I'm going to start dollar cost averaging out at $1. Just keep that in mind, whatever you're thinking right now, and let's walk through the reality of what's going to probably happen. Okay, let's go and look at Solana first of all, of how long you got sometime of to even make these decisions. If you look, guys, that is 8/11. Let's say you got in right there. That's when the market, the altcoin season obviously began. Well, guys, it's over 3 months later. It's game over. 3 months. That rip, altcoin season for Solana in its first bull run, you had 3 months to decide to take your profits. Well, hopefully you were taking profits all the way up. And then it's game over. Now, let's look at XRP. Look at this first one, guys. Altcoin season started for XRP back in 2017 in the middle of December. And in the first part of January, it's game over. Game over. Less than a month, guys. So if you don't start capturing profits, it may look like that. Boom, game over. 3 weeks. Life-changing gains right there in front of you. And trust me when I tell you, people didn't take it. I got countless customers They all did not take their profits. And now they've been waiting for 7 years to hopefully get their money back. Well, let's look at reality. 90%, guys, this is just data, not beating up on XRP or any other project that I'm going to mention. But check this out. So let's say you go, oh, well, you know, XRP is going to rule the world, all the money, all the $10,000 XRP in the last bull run. So you're thinking, well, I'll start taking profits when it takes out its all-time high at $3.87. Well, guys, you got wrecked. Didn't make a penny. It didn't even get it didn't even get halfway to its all-time high. Not halfway. So the odds are most people got wrecked. Well, think that's an exception? No. That's the majority of what happens to all altcoin seasons. They don't make a new all-time high in the second bull run. Let's look at IOTA. It ripped. Look how fast this thing made a new all-time high. This thing went 11/21 altcoin season basically started, and it was over in about 3 weeks. Game over. Next bull run, not even close to get to. It did the same thing XRP did. And I guarantee you in XRP, IOTA, and countless other tokens, people didn't take any profits. From here to there was still a good, 5, 6x, whatever it was. Guys, think that's an exception? Let's look at XLM. XLM absolutely ripped its first bull run. It started in about December, and in literally 1 month, game over. If you didn't take your profits, you rode a whole bear market, then you went into another altcoin season, and again, the odds are people didn't even take their money out of XLM, and it didn't get close to making a new all-time high. Now, guys, again, if you think that is fudding projects, good luck, and I say that with love. Guys, that's not how the world works. This is just data and information. Don't get your feelings involved. Don't fall in love with these projects. These projects don't care about you. The founders don't care about you. And definitely the people playing against you don't care. Because, guys, whether it's founders dumping on you or whales dumping on you, or if your best friend pulls out $1 million, let's say, out of an ecosystem, that came directly out of your money if you own that token. That's an opportunity. There's one pie. It's just like Thanksgiving. If you got 100 people standing around wanting the Thanksgiving pie, the pumpkin pie or whatever it is, well, guys, you better start eating that pie, because you're going to have the fat kid. Normally the developers or the companies or the insiders, they're going to take and dump right out of the gate and eat half the pie. And then all the people that are waiting for that last little bite, odds are you're not going to get any of the pie. Now, that being said, let's talk about when KASPA is going to rip and how to take profits and maybe win, of what it will look like for me. Okay, let's just assume that Trump wins the election. I know they're going to keep cutting rates. I know they're going to print money. China's going to print money. The whole world is going to have to print money to keep pace with what U.S. and China is going to do. So I believe the U.S. Is going to be on fire. All assets classes are going to rip. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, trading cards, antiques, it doesn't matter. All assets are going to absolutely rip. So, when? Well, I believe, if Trump goes into office at the first of the year, it's going to take, the hype is going to pump the projects, right? We could get a huge pump right out of the gate or a huge dump. Either one wouldn't shock me. I actually think we'll probably get both, because it's going to be so positive, and Wall Street knows that the stock market's going to rip if Trump wins. So they may allow it to rip, but then they're going to take profits and then start over again. So I think we're probably going to be into March, and things should be heated up pretty good. Now, you got to watch Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin dominance starts to break, that will be the real move that we're all waiting for altcoin season. But let's say that starts about March, and you wake up and your favorite project or your entire portfolio is up 70, 80, 90% today, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day. Well, guys, you can be greedy all you want, but I highly recommend, like for me, when I get a 2 or 3x, depending on the environment and the project, I take out my initial investment. Now let's think about what that does. That guarantees me to be in that 10% club. It guarantees I do not lose money, that I didn't waste 3, 4 years of my life waiting for a bull market and actually lose money. Yes, by pulling it out, I'm at risk to, I could have made more money. But this is a big boys game. That's the risk I'm willing to take. Now, when it starts to pump again, any day that has a big green candle, I'm going to take a handful out and another handful out. And I'm going to keep doing that until it gets to the point where I think it's game over, and then I'm just going to close the position. And I am not going to hold any of it through the bear market, not a penny. That doesn't make sense. A lot of people teach, oh, keep that, that, I forget what they call it, that moon bag. Keep 10%. Why? Because, guys, this is a guarantee. Write this down. There's no guarantees in crypto, but here's the one that we know throughout history that is pretty much a guarantee. There's never been an altcoin, never, that didn't crash minimum of like 88% minimum. And most are going to crash 93 to 97, and a lot of them, way more than will make it. Most of them will never see a new all-time high, and they'll just kind of fade away in the next bull run. And right now, basically, the majority of them by far don't make a new all-time high in its preceding bull run. Well, that's going to get harder and harder to do every single cycle. So I would guess by the next cycle after this one, you might be down to 5% of projects that have made it and made a continual all-time high. And for you guys that hodl, and I know I'm rambling, but bear with me, guys. For you guys that hodl, the regulation risk is massive. New tech coming out is massive. Just the flat out dilution of more tokens. Maybe there's 5 million projects in the next bull run, right? There's so many reasons not to hodl. We got quantum computing coming out that could hack and make all these projects obsolete. So why would you possibly hodl, right? Now, never sell your Bitcoin. It's not an altcoin. But also, why would you want to ride, say, $10,000 up to $150,000, $200,000 and watch it go back down and go, well, in 10 years, in 5 more years, right, in 5 more years, I'll probably get my money back. No, you probably won't. Again, just ask the XRP Army. Just ask IOTA investors, XLM investors, and I can go on and on and on. And I know a lot of the XRP Army is like, well, the SEC did that. Well, that proves the point, guys. If they would have sold in that bull run, they could have stacked in this bull run. If they would have took their initial investment out, they'd have been good no matter what happened with the SEC. There's nothing to stop the SEC or even another government agency from attacking any of these. They could regulate the whole crypto market out of existence, and don't think it could not happen. If Kamala gets in office, and I'm not political, guys, but they hate crypto. Elizabeth Warren and the Democrats, they want to protect the legacy banks. They want to protect the big, global corporations now. So, guys, it could get really ugly. I don't want to be bearish, but anyway, here's my thoughts for you guys. Go back and study the 2000.com, and it's like deja vu. Go back and study the cycles. Go back and study XRP. Go back and study the top 100 projects in 2017, and then see what they did in 2021, and then see what they're doing now. For whatever that's worth, guys, it's really going to help you out a lot. If you don't take profits, you're going to become the profits. And I truly believe that 98%, probably 99% of all the crypto projects that ever existed will basically be obsolete or disappear, rug pull, or whatever. And also, as far as what I can tell, and I don't see why I'm wrong, but hey, if someone can prove me wrong or help move this conversation forward, I don't understand why, like Algorand, XLM, XRP, Quant, Link, all those projects, I don't see why they can't absolutely be world beaters for the next 20 years, pretty much at the price they are right now, or none of them need to hit a new all-time high. They don't, especially like XRP. Ripple has enough of the supply to grow by 25% as a corporation every year for the next 20 years, and they'll still have an abundance of XRP. And no bank or no Ripple customer will need to step into the retail market and buy XRP. They'll just keep using Ripple's supply just like they are now. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble. If you need some help, I do one-on-one coaching. It's only $250 for 3 Zoom or phone calls. I really think it'll help you out a lot. We can talk about which projects to pick. I really believe, guys, if you want to make the most bang for the buck and you're looking for new projects right now, or if you haven't went all in, guys, look at the hot proven sectors for this bull run. Gaming, RWAs, AI, and if you have the stomach for it, the top meme coins. Don't go get, in my opinion, get something like a Brett with Pepe. That's where the money's gonna be made. And the new projects should outperform the older projects. That's just the probabilities. So that's the kind of stuff we talk about in coaching. I can answer any question and help you any way I can. But guys, you got to get a game plan and take profits, or you'll become the profits. And let me know in the comment section if this helped you out a lot, if you want to see more videos like this. But guys, as far as KASPA goes, I don't play a number. I don't know if it's going to even go to 50 cents. I don't know if it's going to go to $1. I don't know if it's going to go to $5 or $10. But I know where I bought it at. And I know when I get a 3X, I have no more risk of my bag. And I can get as aggressive as I want. Now, here's another thing, and this isn't really what this project video should be about, but bear with me. This is some good alpha. Let's say you get a 10X in KASPA, and you locked it in. It's out. You can go spend it, and good on you. But now, why not take out maybe a 1 or 2X of that profit if the bull run's still going, and just get crazy with it? Buy the risky projects, right? Buy the meme coins, whatever. Because even if they're all rug pulls and you lose every penny, so what? You made an 8X instead of a 10X. Or if you made a 20X, okay, so you made an 18X. But if you keep staying in the market and you're going more risky, guys, you could turn your 20X portfolio into a 30X or 40X portfolio if you still stay in the game. But the cool thing about that is you still won. You're still in that 10% club, and you're using house money. Guys, there's a method to this madness. Get a strategy, because you are competing against the founders, the developers, the insiders, the influencers that just tell you lies and then dump on you. You're against the Wall Street badasses, guys. You got to take profits, and you better be aggressive, because hey, we don't know how long this bull run is going to last. We don't even know if we're going to have an altcoin season. I'm extremely bullish, and I think we are, but you got to be aggressive. Take those profits. That's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hopefully you found this beneficial. Hit the like button and come back and be part of this community. Subscribe.